All right, so this is a video that Joni Ernst tweeted the other day in anticipation of a floor speech she was going to give. Um, and maybe I'll clip this part and put it on our YouTube so we can watch it together with the listeners, but audio only for the podcast. Sorry, guys.
I have not seen this yet, but this thumbnail is intriguing.
Speaking of thumbnails, Evan, clock her nail polish color. It will be important. And also clock the window outside. Looks like a very snowy scene. Is she at the North Pole right now?
Oh my God.
Well, I'm assuming this is green screen, right?
Spoiler.
Okay, sorry, but here, let's play the video. Play the fucking video. There we go.
If, like Mariah, you don't want a lot for Christmas, this may be your year. Be sure to tune into my floor speech this afternoon to find out why.
Oh, man.
You know your girl loves puns, but tune in. That is the most ham-handed bullshit. Yeah. So what do you guys like? Just watching that, what do you think the floor speech is going to cover? What are your predictions, Evan, since you haven't seen it?
I hope it covers those decor in this green screen background. Kind of intrigued by those little deer figures on the mantle there. I don't know. I hope she busts out like a whole xylophone set. And she gets through all of the Christmas classics.
Yeah,
that's what I'm hoping.
That would be ideal.
Yeah. So if you haven't seen the video, she is playing she's approximating the opening to All I Want for Christmas Is You by Mariah Carey on her little bell kit here. And
Fisher Price Tykes, My First Xylophone.
Yeah. Well, I know Natalie has watched this probably 100 times, so I should let her do the like forensic analysis.
Yeah.
So we have some things to note here. First of all, if you take a look at the keys, you see there are numbers on them on the ones she's gonna use. So she has like little sticky notes on them because she can't remember how to play All I Want for Christmas Is You on this children's xylophone. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4.
She has zero musical skills apparently.
It's
numbered all the way to the end. Like there's little tiny sticks on it, and it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Every single note she needs numbered. She needs the whole sequence put out.
So, and if you watch this video, when she's actually playing it, it cuts really close.
It's just hands.
It's just hands. So with the actual playing, she's clearly not doing. And if you take a look at her nails there, they're clearly a dark green. But if you look at her floor speech, they clearly tried to make it similar, but they're gold. And then, okay, so take a look, go back to the regular screen, the full screen and not the zoom in on the xylophone.
Yeah.
So if you take a look here.
Look at that fire.
Look at that fire.
Yeah.
So first of all, I looked up her office, and her office has a green wall, which you obviously don't see here. And so she's clearly using a green screen. And if you take a look at the window to her left,
what shade of green is the wall in her office? Because maybe that doubles as a green screen.
Oh, that's true.
Her office is set up like a TV studio.
That's probably it.
This is Joe Biden's basement. She's actually there right now.
Yeah, and if you take a look at the window to the left, it looks like a winter wonderland. But if you look up the weather in DC the day of her speech, it was 53 degrees out and clear. So we are clearly in front of a screen here, and you can see when it's not zoomed in on her hands, she isn't quite on beat. So they're
it's the same when it's zoomed in too. Like you
There's a
hear the
little
notes
delay.
slightly before she actually strikes.
Yes. So even with the numbered keys,
If she did play it, which big if, but I would bet she probably biffed like 80% of the notes. So they had to just play the actual, someone else had to do. They had to bring in a ringer, a non-union musician, likely.
It's clearly multiple takes. Here, let me start it again so we can watch like the sync. Also,
that
let me
last
point
note
out.
is
Yeah.
wrong.
But also, it's like
Incorrect.
She can't even do it with numbered keys and with interns playing part of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
someone transcribed it wrong.
Yeah.
If she didn't give you the clue that that's what it was, I would have no idea what the fuck she was playing.
There's no rhythm to it. It's just like
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
just need to play them in this order.
Yeah.
Like, why is this your like strategy if you don't have the ability to pull it off?
Well,
like, do a different shtick.
it's because the Make 'em Squeal video was so successful. It catapulted her, much like a hog's testicle being forcefully extracted from its ball sack to the United States Senate. And she's like, this is my winning strategy. Her team is all about these cutesy little viral,
Mhm.
moments. So I think like when I watched this, she's like, okay, she's telling us that we're getting nothing for Christmas. And she says, if that's what you like, then this might be your year. What? No one wants that for Christmas. Like,
Yeah, hold on. What'd she say? Because I was so distracted by like the shitty puns that I lost like any meaning.
what she's saying is complete
If,
nonsense.
like Mariah, you don't want a lot for Christmas, this may be your year. Be sure.
Oh, okay. So if you don't want anything, now is the time to not want things. It's a good time.
Like
Yeah.
she's always trying to put Christ in Christmas. Like, are you saying that you are sick of the commercialization of this holiday, Joni? No, that's not what she's saying.
She's saying the opposite.
Is this about inflation? Is she gonna
Oh,
say
yeah,
no one can
baby.
buy?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, no one can afford Christmas presents this year. So
Yeah.
Mhm,
Because
basically, yeah.
and
Wow.
I don't think she's coined this, but when we get to the floor speech, she uses the term Biden economics, which
ooh,
it's better than that actually.
oh, is it?
Yeah, we'll get there though.
One
Okay,
thing
so
that sorry.
just to I want to like make sure this is all like on the record. They are playing this in the right key. The song is in G. She's playing it in G. But like we said, the last note is wrong. So if you listen to the Mariah Carey song, it's like arpeggiating a G major 7. But the way she ends it on the F sharp. But in the song, they go back down to D. Okay, so she plays da 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 da, but it's da 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 da.
Why
Yes,
is
it
the American flag flapping in the moon landing video? There is no atmosphere on the moon. There is no wind.
And I think the reason like the rhythm, like what you hear is not quite in sync with what you see is because she completely lacks any like rhythmic sensibility.
She's a white lady from Iowa.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
They're putting multiple takes together, and because like none of them are gonna match up because she's not like she's got no internal metronome. Like they have to fudge it.
She has no
Yeah.
heartbeat. How many times do you think they had to do this take? Like how many takes? She's not one take Joni.
Yeah. Well, let's see. There's 1 there, 2, 3, 4. I mean, I'm guessing it's at least 5 because that's what we see. We see 5 cuts, and there's no way that they just like recorded 2 and spliced them together.
Yeah.
Which, like, I feel like the angle and stuff you would have to be able to see the camera. So, like, it has to be a bunch of takes spliced together And like it's just clearly off rhythm. One thing I find really offensive as well is if you look up her most recent photos of her office, there's no fucking Christmas tree in there. That's why they need a green screen. And I just find that to be really offensive against our Lord and Savior.
Wow.
Because there's no Christmas tree in her office.
Joni Ernst, War on Christmas?
Does she even believe in Christmas?
Oh my God.
Wow.
Also, like, who came up with this concept? Like, the xylophone. She's like, I got a xylophone. I gotta break it out. Like, there's so many other ways that they could have done this promo.
I'm pretty sure Joni Ernst staffers are not known for their musical or artistic ability. I don't think that's like high on the CV.
It's just like bullshit because like the hog castration was awesome, and then it immediately turns into this schlock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what Christmas does to the best of us. I think there's a larger lesson there. I think you're uncovering a really great point, Natalie.
It's for sure the green wall in her office is for sure what they do it on. Right? You should look up her office and see if it seems right.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Do we want to watch a little bit of the floor speech that she was hyping up here?
Yes.
I do.
Okay.
And I also want to ask or just know, like, does she have to get the rights to All I Want for Christmas to
Mariah would never.
Mariah would never. And I think it's very purposeful. Like, yes, All I Want for Christmas is a very popular Christmas song, but she chose a Mariah song because
Do you hear
Mariah is the elusive chanteuse. She will not be engaging with Joni about her politics. Like, if she tried this with like a Cardi B Christmas song, Cardi would be all over her online.
Yeah.
Is there a Cardi
Mariah
B
Carey's too busy
Christmas
doing like McDonald's commercials and shit.
That would be great. Cardi B should do a Christmas album. With Megan the reindeer. White as Christmas for snow.
Okay, so this is her floor speech. I mean, the whole like idea about this is strange too. Like, you need to release a trailer
It's
for
so
a floor speech
convoluted.
in the Senate. Like, are people actually excited about this? like, why would you care?
Do you hear what I hear?
Another thing, why
What
are
a
senators always, they have like visual aids now, and I think it's really annoying. Like
Yeah.
big posters, whiteboards.
It's her thing. more than
Joni
anyone.
loves, I mean, she's, like I said, conservatives are not known for their art skills.
I know that Bernie does that sometimes too. I don't know if he like spearheaded that trend or what.
Oh, it's fine when he does it.
As usual, yeah.
Yeah.
The things we criticize other senators for, it's fine when Bernie does it.
Yeah. And so for our listeners who don't want to watch this video, and we do not blame you, it's like a big poster of Mariah Carey's album cover for All I Want for Christmas Is You.
Yeah, she has a few of these, so we'll see the other ones.
Okay.
And pawing of each little hoof of Santa's 8 tiny reindeer will be heard on the roof. There's a joyful sound that denotes the coming of the Yuletide season in just a few instantly recognizable notes.
But you
What?
couldn't recognize them because you played it wrong. No one knows what you're talking about if you haven't seen the commercial.
The
What
way
recognize-
and the way she like emphasizes certain words, like denotes 8 tiny
Yeah.
hoofs.
Yeah, very halting like speech style.
Mhm.
Talking
It's
about
so
Mariah
deranged to
Carey's
see a senator
All I Want
standing
for
in front of a
Christmas Is You.
full-size Mariah Carey.
Well, it's
Right. Like,
video's
aren't
really
Bernie's visual displays like graphs and charts and shit?
Yeah,
And, like,
yeah.
she just comes out with just a fucking,
giant
just a
picture of
crop
Mariah
of,
Carey.
yeah.
The song
have-
is about. Sorry, go ahead, Justin.
I have seen Bernie come to the floor with big printed out tweets. So
Oh,
That's fine.
those are important.
This song is about like, I don't want presents. I want like this, like, I want like a person. I want to be
Time
around,
together.
like that's what the holidays are really
Yeah,
about.
the actual meaning of the season.
Yeah. Not Joni's interpretation, as we're about to see.
Classic. The song is taking on a whole new meaning this season. If, like Mariah, you don't want a lot for Christmas.
Let me just pause there to say she's repeating what she said in that other video. This is just copying.
And don't care about the presents underneath the Christmas tree, this may be your year. That's because Bidenomics is causing everything.
Bidenomics.
You have no better way to do that.
Yeah, it's such a tortured metaphor. Like if you have to explain five different points around where like the pop cultural reference and what your point. This is like she did a bunch of cocaine and this sounded like a really good winning message.
Doing a bunch of cocaine and numbering my xylophone. Being a senator.
Wow.
To be back ordered, delayed, unavailable, or just plain unaffordable. Even Christmas trees are in short supply. So don't be surprised if your only option to deck the halls this year looks like Charlie Brown's sad little twig of a fir tree branch.
Right. And what was the point of that in the Charlie Brown Christmas special?
Yeah.
Like his tiny tree is not supposed to be like, haha, idiot.
Yeah. Charlie Brown, are you fucking
Or
poor?
you poor broke bitch.
Joni does not watch the end of any Christmas movie. She
Yeah.
does not get the point. She's never stayed for the full church service.
This seems like kind of rich people shit also. Like,
Yeah.
are there people buying Christmas trees, like new Christmas trees every year?
Yeah, like doesn't everyone
Yeah.
have their tree? You just
Yeah,
need
you
one
just-
tree.
You get one fake tree
Yeah.
and then you use that for the rest of your life.
I get a real tree because
Absolutely.
I hate the environment and I want to fucking kill as many trees as I can during my time on this earth.
No,
If
we are a
anyone
fake
actually having
fake tree
trouble,
family.
I've never seen. There's always a tree available somewhere. Like I don't.
Yeah.
If this isn't real.
It's also like, I mean, I think there's definitely something to be said for like Americans think we can get anything we want on demand if we like, and it should be cheap and we should get it like in 5 minutes. The
Yeah.
fact that that's
Yeah.
not the case is, and that we're waking up to maybe that's a bad thing for the planet and like we don't really need all that shit. Maybe that's a good realization.
Yeah. The fact that like several huge crises on the planet have just slightly inconvenienced that notion that we can't get every single thing as cheap as possible as soon as possible. Like these are very small like inconveniences. Like
Yeah.
sometimes I go in the
Also-
CVS and they don't have fudge rounds on the shelf. Like oh no.
I
Also-
think like this. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say it's not. A lot of this is just because of businesses are gouging people too. It's not like
Mhm.
the Federal Reserve like people like conservatives always just be like, oh, it's like the Biden Federal Reserve Board or whatever the fuck. But it's like
Yeah.
in a lot of cases, like they're inflating prices because they can.
The
And,
president
like, it doesn't have anything to do with their inputs.
Yeah, the president has no control over fucking inflation. And also like half
The
a
president
million
chooses not to have control over inflation.
Okay.
Yeah.
In America, like 500,000 people died and
Yeah.
are continuing to die. Like maybe that has something to do as well with the supply chain as well.
All those people are gone, and it's
Yeah.
not like health insurance executives. Like
Yeah, I don't care if my relative isn't around the tree as long as the tree looks great and there's tons of shit under that tree.
Yeah.
And I get exactly what color ornament I want at exactly that moment.
Yeah.
That would be an interesting twist if she's talking about how you can't get what you want for Christmas because your loved one that you wanted is actually dead.
All I want for Christmas is you. Shit out of work.
Thanks a lot,
Biden's fault.
Bidenomics.
Yeah.
All right, I do want to get a few more of her like awful puns and references to Christmas songs in.
Whether shopping at a store or online, we are all experiencing it. With the cost of gifts up 20% and consumer prices surging to the highest level in over 30 years, you are paying a whole lot more. for a
Oh my
whole
God.
lot less.
A
That
ho
is
ho
if
hole.
you can even
That brings up
find
another
what
point.
you are
That brings
looking
up another
for.
point that I think is really important. No one has to pay for presents because Santa makes them and delivers them.
Yeah.
What is she
Yeah,
talking
way to
about?
Ruin
What is she
Santa
talking about?
on the floor?
They should replace the entire supply chain with flying
Santa.
fucking sleighs and reindeers and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
did she
Evan
say-
gets it.
In the beginning, she said the reindeers were tiny.
They're tiny little hoofs.
Oh, they're not like small though, right? That's not part of
They're
the
really big.
mythology. Yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty large.
Is she saying they're getting smaller because they're more expensive?
Yeah, they don't get enough to eat, so they're shrinking by the moment.
Santa's like his old reindeer team died of COVID and he's recruiting people, baby reindeer. Or he couldn't
Oh my
afford
God.
like he dissolved the reindeer union because he couldn't afford them anymore.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
hired tiny reindeer scabs.
Perhaps the most telling sign of the times, the Dollar Tree, which had to discontinue selling some of its popular products.
Oh my
Pause. What are
God.
Dollar Tree's popular products? Can you list them? What are the Dollar Tree's popular products?
Did she think she could go there and get a $1 Christmas tree? That's never been a product.
Also, you know where those products come from, Joni? They come from China.
Dooku,
Like the Dollar
Dooku
Tree. That's some like
Costco.
great example of American capitalism. Like, come on.
Yeah. I think Dollar Tree is doing very well actually,
Yeah.
considering they open more stores every day and like take over all of rural America.
Yeah, everyone's hungry, so they buy food at the Dollar Tree.
Yep.
Sign of the times, the Dollar Tree, which had to discontinue
I know I'm repeating this, but there's like a little slip up here that I want to highlight.
selling some of its popular products due to cost concerns.
Dooku.
Dooku.
Okay,
Sign
and
of
like
the time.
They're
dollar
popular.
stores are usually not all $1. It just means cheap as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah. This
like
is a
I know Dollar Tree calls itself everything's $1, but like first of all, no, it's not. I love
Yeah.
Dollar Tree. It's not true.
Yeah,
And
they changed it.
like usually like dollar stores doesn't mean a literal dollar. It just means like rock bottom.
yeah.
And it's not they don't have popular products. They have products that other stores couldn't sell, and then they buy them in bulk off of them.
Yeah, those are actually quite unpopular products.
Yeah, they're like if they're in a dollar store, that means some other store bought them and then sold them in a dollar store because they couldn't sell them.
Yeah.
Where are you guys buying your dooku's though?
The Dollar Tree, which had to discontinue selling some of its popular products due to cost constraints,
Dooku.
is
Count
raising
Dooku.
prices
Yeah.
to $1.25.
Oh,
Yeah. She
No.
paused for laughs there, and no one in the
Oh,
Senate is
slide
buying it.
2.
Elf on the shelf. Fuck
President
yeah.
Biden's contribution to this year's season of giving could best be summed up by an elf on an empty shelf. After all, the Biden administration has ignored, dismissed, and even contributed to the conditions causing these economic hardships. Speaking at the White House just last week, the president.
Okay, this is kind of boring. Nice elf on an empty shelf, though. That's a really good one.
Yeah, I believe that's definitely an off-brand elf on the shelf. And
It is an off-brand elf on the shelf. That's not correct.
I'm more inclined to believe that this was taken in her office than any part of that video. Because like there's like an empty shelf and then like a bookcase. Like
yeah,
what
what's
fucking
that in the
store
back?
is
Yeah. That's
This was
definitely not a store.
They created this photo. Like this is original photography.
It's like, I think like it's kind of good for us to not have access to everything we want every single second. Like, I think it's good for us to get used to like sometimes you're not going to have things in supply. And I've switched to buying like all of my clothing and my kids' clothing secondhand. And like it's a really good way to be like, okay, like you don't have exactly the right thing that you want right this second. So come back, keep an eye on it. Like it's good for you to like not be able to access everything on demand at any moment, because it does make you think of where things come from.
Absolutely. Like maybe we shouldn't have access to blueberries 12 months a year. And I say that as someone who eats blueberries every fucking day. Like
Every
people
meal.
Yeah, people have to.
You're that girl from
like,
Willy Wonka.
Yeah, watch out.
Yeah, I think to your point, Allie, like if you're aware of like this invisible labor and what have been like invisible supply chains, like that's only a good thing.
It makes you think about where it comes from. Also, I'm really caught up by the fact that this is a fake elf on the shelf. Also, do you guys know how much an elf on the shelf costs?
No.
I didn't realize it was like a specific branded product.
It's a specific branded thing. First of all, it's a fucking scam. They try to make a brand new tradition that you're like obligated to be all cutesy and
it's
like
an invented
make your
mythology.
make your narc ass elf do all kinds of adorable things every day. Train your kid to support the surveillance state.
Yeah, this is about Biden.
Elf on the shelf.
This is about Biden continuing the surveillance state here.
Yes,
about consumerism.
Okay, but really, guess how much an elf on the shelf costs?
$1.25.
$30.
I was gonna say 50, but I have no idea.
If you want to have a girl elf on the shelf, you have to buy a like Velcro skirt for $20.
Wow.
Oh my God.
What?
Yeah.
That is the pink tax at work.
Yeah.
And she comes, you have to buy her little razor, her pink razor, and her fake eyelashes.
To buy her estrogen.
This is not a real elf on the shelf. That is like a Dollar Tree stuffed elf.
I think like honestly, like if they were like staying true to like the elves of folklore, like they're all androgynous. Like you could very easily just like consider all elves to be genderless. Like they don't need to exist within that binary. And you shouldn't have to buy a new skirt for them. That's what I'm saying.
I heard something recently about how Bernard from the Santa Claus movies is like a non-binary androgynous icon, which I'm sure for everyone on the call, I can speak for when I say like Bernard was our sexual awakening.
Oh my God, yes.
I don't know. I wasn't really interested in Bernard. I was really focused.
I don't think I've seen that movie, to be honest.
Hey, really, the Tim Allen classic.
Or it's sequels.
I know.
Where
I know the premise.
Yeah.
I was more interested in the like inflation transformation aspect of that movie. Like, oh, you mean there's like some magical way where I can just like very, very quickly
become Santa,
inflate myself? Like that's what I was sexually interested in.
Well, you have to kill Santa and then you become Santa. And then there's all these like Santa's never reading the fine print on all these contracts. That's where the clauses come in. Like he has to find a human woman to marry him or else like he dies. And,
Is that what the
he
sequel's
doesn't-
about?
He doesn't die. I think Christmas is just like over forever if he doesn't get like a Mrs. Claus immediately. And then all the
Wow.
women who end up there are like lobotomized immediately. And the only like female elves, like the like most powerful female elf is like Santa's waitress who just like brings him cookies. Really, really fucked up.
Well, and
Yeah.
he starts out like he's perhaps the first divorced Santa also.
Yeah, actually, I think the divorce rate is pretty high for Santas. Actually, that's one of the jobs that's really hard on a partnership.
Yeah. Do they ever
But,
get into like who was Santa before Tim Allen killed him? Like, was that the original Santa? And this was just
They
the
don't
first
get
time a
into
Santa
it.
had been killed?
I think Santa's like it's a dangerous job.
Okay, so
that-
they die
yeah.
a lot.
Because he
Yeah.
always carries that little card that's like, now
you
you're me.
killed me. Now you're me.
Jesus. Gotcha.
Yeah, I highly recommend the podcast, the Bechdel Cast's deep dive into the Santa Claus trilogy. It's really funny.
I'm pretty sure I never saw past the first one.
I think Martin
I'm gonna-
Short is in one as Jack
Is
Frost.
he Jack Frost? Yeah, I remember him
Yes.
from like
Oh, man.
the poster, the
Yeah.
cover of the movie.
Yeah, that movie's I think about like talks a lot about like fascism. Like he becomes like a fascist Santa.
I
All that-
haven't watched that one. I've been
Yeah.
watching like a bunch of, I posted about this on Twitter, but like a bunch of 90s movies with my kid. And it's so funny because they're all like bitter divorced dads who are trying to
Yeah.
own the new boyfriend. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, your new boyfriend is a therapist? Wow, what a pussy. And he wears
Oh
turtleneck sweaters.
Oh my
my god.
That's about like every second. Like he's a shrink. He's not a real doctor. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
The pussification of mom's new husband.
yeah. They really do want you to like kind of hate the stepdad in the Santa Claus.
he's
Stepdads,
perfectly normal.
stepmoms.
He cares a lot about.
Yeah, he's like good, but like he initially you're like, oh, this guy's a fucking snob.
Yeah.
But it's like he's right. Like Tim Allen is acting deranged and should be around his kid. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, he gained like 200 pounds in a day. Like something bad is happening.
Not that
maybe we
like
should be careful.
yeah. Not that there's anything wrong with weighing 200 pounds more. It's just like it's a big change in
when it
one
happens
day.
that quickly,
When
it's
it
like,
happens,
yeah.
Yeah. And when I think the larger thing, like that would maybe be like, are you okay? Like maybe you have a hormone thing. Like maybe you should go to the doctor. I think the larger question is like, he thinks he's Santa.
And he,
That's
like,
more of a red
can-
flag.
Well, he does go
like,
to the
convinced
doctor
his-
in the movie.
Oh, he does. Gosh, I haven't seen that one in a long time. But not a
And,
psych
like-
doctor, because that's for weenies.
That's not real.
Yeah. Okay, back to Joni.
Okay, so here's her third slide.
Humbug.
Well, she said something about humbug. Let me go back.
Aw,
Advocates of
humbug.
essential workers struggling to provide for their own families. What a bunch of humbug.
That's not right.
What a bunch of humbug.
Yeah.
She's so natural on the stage.
This is her tight
I
10.
don't know if you are listening, but if you are, when you're making your list and checking it twice, remember that President Biden promised taxpayers that his Build Back Better plan costs $0. Doesn't waste
She
any
looks
money
like
on
she's
tax.
trying to suck a massive dick.
Here,
His
we'll watch
Build
that
Back
again.
Better
Then.
plan
Yeah.
costs
She's looking for the Michigan hammer.
$0. Doesn't waste any money on tax breaks for the wealthy and adds, you guessed it, $0 to the national debt. To no one's surprise, that promise ended up being a fa la 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 lot of
Oh my god.
What?
Damn.
What did
She's
she
using
say?
Joe Biden's words against him.
Yeah.
She's saying, yes, malarkey.
All right, yeah, let me play that part for you again. It's really
Yeah.
good, and she's like really like kind of like playing up a little bit of sassiness with it.
Yeah. I think we need a little
Dollars,
less
the national
malarkey and a little more Macaulay Culkin in the Home Alone beloved films.
To no one's surprise, that promise ended up being a fa la 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 lot of malarkey.
But she
Why
should
don't you
have
just
just
say
said
fa la
like,
la la lie?
yeah, exactly. That's her. That would be so much better. That's definitely what I thought she was gonna go for.
Also, the
Fa
shit
la la
hasn't
la
even
la
passed
la
yet.
lot.
The shit literally has not passed yet. Like, or if
Yeah.
it will.
That's true. I
See, I'm
guess yeah,
saying
this
it's
isn't
like-
impacting like the current economy in any way.
The night
Yeah.
before, it was 3:30. She just done a fat rail of coke, and she's like, "Okay, I got it." We start with Mariah. I get out the xylophone. We print Biden's tweet. It's all connected. Build back better. It's a lot of humbug.
Fa la 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 lot of malarkey. That might be her last visual aid. Here, yeah, let's watch her put Mariah back on the easel, and then we can quit with this.
Or putting gifts under the tree. So rather than passing another one of President Biden's budget busting bills, the best gift that Washington can give taxpayers is to keep this from being a blue Christmas and simply stop making matters worse. Folks who have worked hard all year desperately deserve a break from the economic pressures being caused by Bidenomics so they can enjoy some time with their families. And unlike last Christmas, we can once again rediscover the true meaning of this holiday season by spending time with those we love the most. Just like Mariah sings about, make my wish come true. All I want for Christmas is you.
Isn't she
Madam
implying it's a
President?
good thing then?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right. Yeah, wasn't the whole point of that like all of the materialist aspects, like we can't
Yeah.
actually do that because the economy is fucked. We're being forced to celebrate the real meaning of Christmas.
Spending time with our fucking families.
Yeah.
Oh
What the
man.
hell?